Welcome back to Quarter Dollar. Today, 7 ordinary-looking Washington quarters are going under the spotlight, and the last coin connects to a certified double die variety that sold for more than $8,800. But the strange color, heavy dirt, or dramatic damage seen on a coin does not automatically make it valuable. Most of the quarters in today's footage are circulated, stained, scratched, or environmentally damaged. Their real value is likely close to 25 cents. The large auction prices belong to separate certified coins with exceptional grades or verified varieties. We will count down through a 1984D, a 1994P, a 1979D, a 1980 with an unclear mint mark, a reverse-only coin labeled 1993. A 1974 Philadelphia quarter, and finally the 1971 Philadelphia quarter with an important reverse variety to check. Look at the complete coin, not just one unusual spot. Record the date and mint mark, inspect both sides and the edge, and never clean a promising quarter. If you enjoy honest coin values and real error diagnostics, subscribe to Quarter Dollar and stay with us through number 1. We begin at number 7 with the 1984 D Washington quarter. The D to the right of Washington's hair ribbon identifies Denver. The Denver Mint produced 546,483,064 quarters dated 1984, so the regular issue is not rare because of its date or mint mark. Millions entered circulation, and worn examples can still appear in change, old jars, and inherited collections. Now examine the coin shown on screen. Washington's cheek and hair have broad friction. The fields contain many contact marks, and scattered dark spots interrupt the surface. The coin no longer shows the uninterrupted cartwheel luster required for a mint state grade. Nothing visible in this obverse photograph proves a double die, wrong planche, missing clad layer, or another valuable mint error. That means this particular coin should be treated as a circulated 1984 D quarter, most likely worth face value. A stain is not a die variety. A scratch is not a die crack. A dark patch is not proof of an unusual alloy. These distinctions matter because online listings often attach exciting names and unrealistic prices to ordinary post-mint damage. The real opportunity with this date is condition. PCG's reports that a certified 1984 D graded MS67 sold for $780 at Heritage Auctions in June 2019. That result belonged to a remarkably preserved coin, not a worn example like the one in today's footage. To search for a high-grade 1984 D, rotate the coin beneath one fixed light. Original luster should sweep around the surface without stopping across Washington's cheek or hair. Inspect the open field in front of his face because even small marks are easy to see there. On the reverse, examine the eagle's breast, wing feathers, and the fields above the wings. Friction on any high point removes the coin from mint state consideration. Also inspect the reeded edge. A normal clad quarter weighs approximately 67 grams and usually shows a copper-colored core between the outer layers. An abnormal weight, incomplete design, or major missing section may deserve further examination, but dirt and corrosion can interfere with measurements. Never polish a dull 1984 D to make it appear uncirculated. Polishing creates hairlines and destroys the original surface collector's need. Save only an unusually fresh example, or a coin with a clear physical mint-made abnormality, then compare it with certified references before paying grading fees. Moving up to number 6, the 1994 P quarter looks brighter, but brightness alone can be deceptive. The P beside Washington's hair ribbon identifies Philadelphia. PCG's lists a huge mintage of 825,600,000 pieces for the 1994 P. That production total makes the date extremely common in ordinary condition, and a circulated example normally remains a 25-cent coin. The coin on screen has sharp-looking hair detail and reflective areas, but it also shows blotchy brown color and many fine lines across the fields. From one still photograph, we cannot prove exactly how the surface changed. It may have been cleaned, polished, wiped, or exposed to something in the environment. What we can prove is that artificial brightness should never be confused with original mint luster. True cartwheel luster moves in rotating bands when the coin is tilted beneath a fixed light. A polished surface often flashes all at once and reveals straight or circular hairlines. Cleaning can make a coin look brighter for a camera while reducing its collector value. This is why a shiny coin can still receive a details grade or be rejected by experienced collectors. PCGs lists a historical auction record of $864 for a certified 1994 P-graded MS63 at Heritage Auctions in April 2006. That is an unusual result for one specific certified coin and should not be used as a current price guide for every 1994 P. Auction timing, eye appeal, certification, and the competition between bidders can produce isolated results that ordinary coins do not repeat. PCGs does not list a major business strike variety for the regular 1994 P. A genuine mint error is still possible on almost any date, but it needs clear physical evidence. A major off-center strike would show part of the design missing while the blank planche remains visible. A wrong planche coin would normally have an abnormal weight, size, color, and incomplete design. A missing clad layer should display consistent mint-made surfaces, not random brown stains or rough corrosion. Check In God We Trust, Liberty, the date, and the P mint mark for rounded. Separated doubling. Flat shelf-like edges usually indicate machine doubling, while recessed lines are generally scratches. Then inspect the reverse, because this obverse-only photo cannot reveal the eagle, lettering, or any reverse abnormality. If you have a fresh 1994 P with smooth fields, strong luster, and almost no marks, protect it before additional handling. Hold it by the edge and place it in a non-PVC holder. Do not rub away the brown areas on the coin shown here. The original surface cannot be restored once it has been altered. If these first two coins surprised you, subscribe now, because the strongest recognized variety in this group has not appeared yet. At number 5 is the 1978 D Washington Quarter. Denver struck more than 287 million coins. PCGs describes the issue as easy to obtain in most conditions, with scarcity developing only in very high mint state grades. That is the definition of a condition rarity. The date is common, but the finest survivors are difficult. A 1978 D certified PCG's MS67 Plus sold for $1,528 through Heritage Auctions in August of 2016. The word plus matters. At the top of the market, even a small grading distinction can change competition and price. A circulated 1978 D does not belong in the same value category. Inspect the obverse without magnifying it first. Does the coin have lively original brilliance, or does it look dull and lifeless? Then use magnification on Washington's cheek, jaw, and the open field. A few tiny ticks can be acceptable on an uncirculated coin, but clusters of deep marks are grade killers. Check the date and mint mark for damage that may have been pushed or scratched into the surface after the coin left the mint. Turn to the reverse and look at the eagle. The breast is one of the first places to show weakness or wear. Check the feather separation, the tops of the wings, and the fields around the eagle. Also inspect the reeded edge for filing, squeezing, or impact damage. Never dip, polish, rub, or erase marks from a coin you think may be high grade. Cleaning does not restore mint state quality, it removes original surface. If a 1978 D truly looks untouched, compare it with certified examples and obtain an expert opinion before paying grading fees. The most useful question is not, is 1978 D rare? It is, did this specific coin survive at an exceptional level? That is where the premium lives. Number 4 brings us to the 1980 Washington quarter, and this coin presents an identification problem that must be solved before any value claim can be made. The date 1980 is visible, but the mint mark area beside Washington's hair ribbon is affected by wear, staining, and glare. A small mark may be present, yet this photograph is not sharp enough to identify it confidently as P or D. We should not guess. The year 1980 was important because Philadelphia began placing a P mint mark on circulating Washington quarters. PCGs list normal 1980 business strikes from Philadelphia with a P and from Denver with a D. If a worn photograph seems to show no mint mark, that does not establish a rare missing mint mark error. Dirt, corrosion, weak striking, glare, or physical wear can hide part of a normal letter. Philadelphia struck 635 dahlia 8 32 quarters in 1980. PCGs records a certified 1980 P-graded MS67 Plus that sold for $900 at Heritage Auctions in June 2019. Denver struck 527,487 pieces, and PCGs lists a $380 auction record for a certified 1980 D-graded MS67 at Heritage in February 2007. Those records show why the exact mint mark matters. They also show why grade must be considered separately. The pictured coin has widespread scratches, dull surfaces, dark deposits, and clear friction across Washington's portrait. It is not comparable to either elite mint state auction coin, unless the other side or edge reveals a major authenticated error. Its realistic value is probably 25 cents. Use angled light and low magnification to inspect the mint mark area. Do not use a needle, toothpick, brush, or chemical to uncover the letter. Scraping that area can create damage that resembles an altered or removed mint mark. Photograph the coin from several angles and compare the letter position with certified 1980P and 1980D examples. Then inspect the edge. A normal example should weigh close to 5.67 grams and display the copper core of the clad construction. Repeat the weighing test on a calibrated scale. A small difference can come from normal tolerance, wear, residue, or the scale itself. A truly unusual weight must be supported by the diameter, edge, design placement, and professional authentication. Also remember that the reverse is missing from the footage. We cannot evaluate the eagle, determine whether the reverse is rotated, or inspect for strike-throughs and die cracks. One side of a coin is never enough for a responsible error attribution. The 1980 quarter can be valuable in an extraordinary grade, but the first task is much simpler. Identify the mint mark correctly and separate original luster from surface damage. At number 3, we reach the most visually dramatic coin in the group. The image is labeled 1993, but nearly the entire reverse is covered by rough green corrosion. First, the label is not part of the coin. Because the obverse is not shown, the date and mint mark cannot be independently confirmed from this photograph. We can discuss the 1993P and 1993D issues. But we cannot honestly declare whether this physical coin came from Philadelphia, Denver, or even whether the handwritten date is correct. What the photograph does prove is severe environmental damage. The reverse design is almost completely hidden. The surface is rough, porous, and covered with green and dark deposits. This appearance is consistent with copper-bearing metal reacting with moisture, salts, soil, or chemicals. The outer copper-nickel layers and the exposed copper core of a clad quarter can develop serious corrosion after harsh exposure. This is not how a valuable missing clad layer error should be identified. A genuine missing clad layer normally shows a consistent copper-colored surface with the design struck into the affected metal. It should not be diagnosed from green crust, pitting, and an almost erased design. A dramatic color alone is not evidence of a mint mistake. If the coin really is dated 1993, Philadelphia produced 639,276,000 quarters, and Denver produced 645,476,128. PCGs lists a $780 record for a certified 1993 P-graded MS66 and a $1,485 record for a certified 1993 D-graded MS67 Plus. Both auction coins were preserved condition rarities. Neither record applies to a severely corroded quarter. In the condition shown, collector value has probably been destroyed. Cleaning will not restore the missing surface. Acid, vinegar, baking soda, metal polish, or scraping may remove some deposits, but they will also expose fresh damage and leave an unnatural surface. The correct action is to leave the coin alone. For identification, photograph the obverse in neutral light. Record the complete date and P or D mint mark. Inspect the edge for the normal clad sandwich and weigh the coin on an accurate scale. Be careful when interpreting the weight, because heavy residue can add material while corrosion can remove metal. A measurement is only one piece of evidence. This coin teaches one of the most important lessons in error collecting. Unusual and valuable are not the same thing. A coin can look shocking because it suffered decades of environmental damage. A genuine mint error must show evidence that the abnormality existed when the coin was struck. Do not attach the 1993 auction records until the date, mint mark, grade, and physical condition are confirmed. The green surface creates a mystery, but it does not create a premium. Now we move to number 2, the 1974 Washington quarter with no mint mark. Many beginners see a missing letter beside Washington's hair and immediately search for a no mint mark error. On this date, no mint mark is exactly what a normal Philadelphia quarter should have. The absence of a letter is not an error. PCG's reports that Philadelphia struck 801,456,000 quarters dated 1974. That enormous mintage makes the regular issue common. The coin is made from copper nickel-clad metal over a pure copper center, not 90% silver. A normal example weighs approximately 5.67 grams and usually shows a copper-colored band along the reeded edge. The coin in today's footage is clearly circulated. Washington's cheek and hair show friction, the fields contain many scratches, and scattered dark spots interrupt the surface. The brightness appears uneven, and no continuous cartwheel luster is visible in this still image. These conditions separate it sharply from a top-grade certified survivor. In ordinary circulated condition, a 1974 Philadelphia quarter is generally worth face value. Yet PCG's reports that a certified MS67 Plus example sold for $115 at Legend Rare Coin Auctions in August 2020. That price demonstrates condition rarity, not date rarity. PCG's describes the 1974 Philadelphia issue as easy to obtain through approximately MS66. At MS67, the search becomes much harder, and anything finer becomes very scarce. The valuable feature is not the missing mint mark. It is extraordinary preservation after a huge production run. Inspect Washington's cheek, jaw, and the open field in front of his face. A high-grade coin needs strong, uninterrupted luster and minimal contact marks. Turn to the reverse and check the eagle's breast and wing feathers for friction or strike weakness. The rim should be complete, and the edge should show normal clad construction. Do not mistake stains for missing clad, and do not call ordinary contact marks double die features. PCG's lists only the regular 1974 business strike as the major variety for this Philadelphia issue. Major mint errors can occur on any date, but a claim needs abnormal weight, size, shape, metal, or strike characteristics that match an authenticated error. The photograph does not supply that evidence. It shows a worn common quarter connected to a remarkable high-grade auction record. That distinction protects viewers from spending grading fees on coins that have no realistic chance of matching the auction specimen. Handle any unusually fresh 1974 quarter only by its edge. Do not wipe fingerprints or dark spots. One careless rub can add hairlines and destroy the exact surface quality that makes a condition rarity valuable. We have now reached number 1, the 1971 Philadelphia Washington quarter. This date offers both a major condition rarity story and a genuinely recognized double die reverse. The coin shown on screen has no mint mark beside Washington's hair ribbon. For a 1971 Philadelphia business strike, that is normal. It is not a rare no-S quarter, and it is not a missing mint mark error. Philadelphia produced 109,284,000 pieces. The pictured coin has extensive circulation wear, scratches, dullness, and dark green deposits around the date and lower portrait. Washington's cheek is flat, the fields are heavily marked, and original luster is no longer visible. Based on this obverse image, the coin should be treated as a worn regular 1971 quarter, most likely worth 25 cents. The first major value path is preservation. PCGs reports that a certified regular 1971 quarter graded MS-67 sold for $3,840 at Heritage Auctions in August 2019. The date is common in worn condition, but an almost flawless survivor can become a serious condition rarity. The second path is far more exciting. PCGs recognizes the 1971 double die reverse known as FS801. A certified example graded MS-65 sold for $8,812.50 at Heritage Auctions in February 2017. The doubling is on the reverse, not on Washington's face or the date. Heritage described the certified variety as showing clear counter-clockwise die doubling across all reverse legends. Inspect United States of America, E pluribus unum, and quarter dollar. Genuine hub doubling should show rounded separation and notching on the letters. Flat, shelf-like reduction is usually machine doubling, while random recessed lines are scratches. Here is the critical limitation: the reverse of the pictured 1971 coin was not provided. Therefore, this footage cannot prove or disprove the FS801 variety. The obverse condition also makes the coin completely different from the MS-65 auction specimen. We may tell viewers where to look, but we must not call this physical coin an $8,812 double die. Use clear side lighting and moderate magnification. Compare the full reverse with certified FS801 photographs, not with an unlabeled social media close-up. The doubling should match in direction, shape, and location across several letters. One thick letter or one blurry image is not enough. If the diagnostics appear to match, stop handling the coin. Do not clean the lettering, rub the fields, or scrape away deposits. Photograph both sides and the edge, place the coin in an inert holder. And seek a knowledgeable variety specialist or professional grading service. The 1971 quarter earns the final position because it proves how dramatically value can change. A worn regular example may remain worth 25 cents. A certified top-grade regular strike reached $3,840. A separate certified FS801 double die reverse reached $8,812.50. The date stayed the same, but condition and verified attribution changed everything. These 7 Washington quarters leave us with one honest conclusion. The unusual-looking coin is not always the valuable coin, and the common-looking coin is not always the one to ignore. The 1984D, 1994P, 1979D, 1980, damaged coin labeled 1993, 1974, and 1971 shown in today's footage all display circulation wear, staining, scratches, altered surfaces, or corrosion. None can be matched directly to the elite auction coins based on these photographs. Before saving or submitting any quarter, complete the same inspection. Confirm the date and mint mark. Examine both faces under one light for uninterrupted luster. Decide whether suspicious lines are raised or recessed. Check the full rim and clad edge. Weigh any coin with abnormal color, size, or missing metal. Then compare the exact feature with certified references. Historical auction prices show what individual certified coins sold for at particular times. They are not guaranteed offers for your coin. Professional grading makes sense only when the possible value can justify the fees, shipping, and risk. Never clean a promising quarter. Handle it only by the edge and store it in a non-PVC holder. Now tell us in the comments which of these 7 dates you have and include the mint mark if it can be confirmed. If you own a 1971 Philadelphia quarter, inspect the reverse lettering carefully. because that is where the strongest recognized variety in this countdown is hiding. Subscribe to Quarter Dollar